What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. I have a confession to make. I don't know how to pray. I don't think I ever learned how to pray. Never learned why to pray. That doesn't mean I wasn't taught to pray. I was raised around the Hindu religion. My mother is very devout. My family always had prayers around holidays, and we went to the temple. We did all the abstaining from meat and dietary restrictions on specific days and all the rituals. I had no shortage of examples of people praying. Some of my fondest memories are trips to holy places, or even the festivals where we prayed in the small temple on the roof of my India home. I was taught to pray, but I never learned how to pray. Personally, why to pray, so I can have a personal relationship. What's the difference, you ask? Let me explain. Now, before I continue, I know this is a deeply personal topic to everyone, and I'm not here to challenge your religious beliefs. I am just now learning what it means to pray. I had a conversation with my 8-year-old nephew who knew all of this already. He beat me to it 30 years in advance. So I'm just learning now what it means to pray, why people pray. So you may be way ahead of me and may have already come to these realizations yourself. And if that's the case, this will just be validation for your piety. Or you may gather the perspective that I recently just realized after battling with this whole idea of prayer, and it may even strengthen your faith. I've been having this internal struggle more recently with this topic because ever since my father passed, I have had to take part in more religious activities than I'm normally used to. Out of rituals, we visit the temple on the 25th of the month, which is the day he passed, to say a little prayer and bring a little food. And there are stories attached to why we do this. For example, the food you bring is said to reach him and his spirit, and also serves as offerings that he can provide to the guides that help him along the way to his final destination. We are supposed to do this for at least 11 or 12 months from the day of his passing. It's been 6 months already. So naturally, I have had to spend more time in the temple than I normally do. And many times that I have gone, I see a lot of people there also praying. Many who regularly come to the temple that I've seen multiple times, who take part in weekly prayers, even kids who surprise me with their knowledge of prayers and religious songs. And I constantly ask myself the question, why are you here? I have at times asked this question in judgment, and I realized a lot of it had to do with my own relationship to prayer that I did not understand the context of. Again, I never understood the point of prayer. And although losing my father abruptly challenged my faith a little bit, I realized something else was really at the core of straining my relationship with God. And it was all me. I realized my idea of prayer was always going with my hands out to God, always asking for something, always asking for grace, always asking. And my faith was under pressure because I felt ungrateful for all the things asked for, all the things God has already given me that I have done nothing with. So it was resentment to my own self that was straining my relationship. Because I kept thinking, what face am I supposed to show to you, God? I don't even feel worthy to pray. How am I supposed to feel about myself going again in front of him with my hand out with all the things that he has handed me that I have made nothing of? And so I projected all of this self-hate and misunderstanding onto the other people I saw in temples. I asked myself, What is the point of all these people coming here every week with their hands out? Has God not given them enough? I see many of them do things that seemed weird to me, like speak to the ear of a statue that represents God, almost as if they were asking for something else. Just constant wishes, I thought, for more grace, constant requests for guidance, constant desire for more, never satisfied, just always wanting more and wanting more. And I judged that like I judge myself. I didn't understand how they could feel good about themselves just constantly showing up and asking for more regularly. I was judging them harshly because of my own failings, my own misunderstandings. But I came to realize something that my friend actually said to me that flipped all of this on its head. And I realized it was more of my failing to understand what the point of prayer was, where all these feelings came from, all this questioning, this distance, this strain on my relationship came from. What my friend made me realize is that the point of prayer isn't just to go and ask for more guidance or for more grace. Rather, it is an expression of gratitude for the past guidance that you have already received, for the past grace that you have already received. And it softened my perspective on myself and towards all these people that I saw in the temple. Because while you may still go there with your hand out, you are also showing respect for what he has already handed you. The prayers, the time spent, the devotion isn't just a way to earn future favor. It's a way to express appreciation and recognition and acknowledgement for all the past favors that you have already received. And at a certain point, it's even divorced from that altogether. Whether you receive something or have received something can account for any of his blessings or not. At a certain point, praying regularly is a way of exhibiting, showing that you will be by his side no matter what it is that you do or do not receive. It is a relationship of no accounting. You build God into your life like you do with any other relationship with people you love. One that has no accounting. One that keeps no tallies. Your prayer is just time spent with him, in remembrance of him, in company of him, as you would with any other person in your life that you are devoted to. It really isn't about a give or take. It's just presence, in the presence of each other. Sometimes you don't even need to say anything or do anything. It's just to be in each other's company. What more do we really need than that from anyone in our life? Just to know that we have each other through the thick and thin, no matter what. And since this realization, I have had further realizations in regards to this about myself, because I traced how I got to my mistaken understanding in the first place. What was it that made me resort to the thinking that the relationship with God was just one of a benevolent benefactor and me as his beneficiary? Why did I land on this idea of using God as my personal request form? Even though I consciously understood and have talked about here that God is not a granter of casual wishes, which in that realization is where I started to feel bad because all my wishes felt casual to me if I wasn't doing anything about them. And even though I understood this, that his name ain't Jimmy, and it ain't about gimme, 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 why did I not understand this before? And I had to admit to myself that my deepest struggle comes from this reality, that I struggle with gratitude in general. I don't know how to be grateful. Anytime I have been put on the spot to think about or express something I am grateful for, I freeze up. It takes me a while to think. And a lot of my answers are generic, on the surface. Anytime I have done a gratitude meditation, anytime I have done group exercises where I have to list something I am grateful for, I always come up short. And it is this deficit that shows up in my relationship with God and probably in all of my relationships. I am never satisfied. I'm always looking for more, feeling a lack of, measuring the gaps, noticing the shortfalls. My being spends more time in wants, in unrealized desires, and my failures to reach than it does in appreciation for what is already here, and what I have done already, and what I have already become already. And so, how could I not bring that into every relationship, even my relationship with God, especially my relationship with God? Because He is the source of where all comes from. And so maybe that relationship is pressed and pressured more than anything else with anyone else, because it is to Him where I go and seek all missing satisfaction, to narrow all deficits and gaps. So it is my relationship with Him that is most strained. Your piety is not measured by a give or take. Devotion to anything is meant to be devoid of transaction. It is not in what is given and received that a bond is built. It is in your undying and unquestioned presence. It is in just the attention given to each other, the time spent with each other. Attention is the rarest and purest form of generosity, of connection. And the function of prayer is never to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. If the one and only prayer you say your whole life was thank you, that would suffice. The purpose of prayer is not to ask God for what you want, but to become what God wants. All the grace is found in your gratitude. I love you, family. Stay true always. I see you on the next show.